Hi, welcome back to the front row. My name is Daniel Boy, and tonight we have a very special lineup of guests. It's the first of our Solidarity series where Asian and ASEAN designers come together to show solidarity in the face of COVID. You've just seen the collections of three amazing designers, Brian, Justin, and Kavan. You're going to be meeting them very soon, as well as a very special gentleman, Adrian, who is the mastermind behind this. So, without further ado, let's welcome our guests from across the causeway. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
Daniel.
Okay,
Hi.
let's start by introducing yourselves and telling our listeners what you do. Shall we start with Adrian?
Hello. I'm Adrian. I'm a show producer. Um, I produce some of the runway shows in Malaysia, and I believe I've known you, Daniel, for 23 years since the
You've
start of
known
my
me since
career.
three, Adrian. You know what? You don't in Malaysia. You produce the biggest shows in Malaysia, and I'm so happy to be working with you on this project. And a little later on, I'm going to reveal the close connection that Adrian has with the front row. But okay, let's go on to our designers. Let's start with Brian.
Hi, Daniel. Hi, everyone. So I'm Brian
Okay.
Khoo,
Hi.
and I'm the founder and the creative director of my namesake brand, which is Brian Khoo as well. Yeah.
Justin.
Hi everyone. Hi, my name is Justin Yap, and I'm the director and creative person behind my brand, Justin Yap, and I do mainly evening wear, and I'm still doing after like 13 years.
And last but not
And
least,
thank you for having
Carven.
me.
Hi Daniel, hi everyone. I'm Kavanong here. I'm in this industry almost 28 years. It's quite long in this fashion industry. So I have my own boutique. It's called Kavanong Couture, and also I have my own academy before, and also the ready to wear at the departmental store. Yeah, it's me. So long
Congratulations,
in this industry.
designers. What
Thank you.
amazing each of you have put up. I almost missed this chat because I was so busy watching the shows, right? Okay, let's start off by chatting with Adrian, putting Adrian in the hot seat. All right. Now, earlier I mentioned that Adrian has very close ties with the front row because during the each of our respective countries' lockdown, we were chatting a lot. We were chatting a lot about the state of Malaysian fashion, the state of Singapore fashion, and then Adrian suggested this thing called solidarity that we should all get together and support each other and do a joint show together. And one thing led to another. Uh, the front row was birthed from that. So thank you very much, Adrian. Without you, we won't have the front row. All right, that was the easy part. Now I'm going to ask you, tell us about what you've done in your long and storied career. What were the highlights, and how did you end up in this industry?
Okay. I started in 1997. I was a booker at a model agency called Catwalk Productions, and we also represented you, Daniel.
Yes, you did.
And yeah, then I left in about after 3 years, and then I started working with a event company. That's when I started to sort of integrate fashion into productions, and then I started my own company, DR Events, in 2004, and we've been around ever since. We
What were the
usually
highlights?
produce.
What do you think were
Sorry.
some of the what do you think were some of the high points in your career? I mean, you've done a lot. You're top in Malaysia right now. Um, what were the highlights
Okay.
that you think made your career?
Well, very early on, of course, one of the highlights was working with you and
Thank you.
Singaporean supermodel Lin Wang. She has always had a very memorable presents that after 23 years, I still remember. Okay. Also, 2 years ago, I was appointed by Mercedes-Benz to executive produce their first ever Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week in KL, which we plan to integrate Southeast Asian designers and designers from all over the world and make Southeast Asia a hub for fashion. And that is when I reconnected back with you again, Daniel, after so long, and it's been a pleasure. Every job that
Pleasure.
I do is kind of different, yeah, but
Yeah.
I cherish every moment of it.
How do you think COVID is going to change the industry? I mean, we both do the same thing on opposite sides of the causeway. How do you think COVID is going to change the way our industries are run?
Okay, obviously with all the social distancing and the SOPs and all that, we have to be very, very careful on organizing large events. And we are still in Malaysia anyway, we're still going into the virtual or attempting to go into the virtual platform, trying to push out designers to showcase their collections. And I think the front row is very timely to have this
Great.
at the moment. And we have this amazing three designers who are willing to come on board, despite me not having an actual paper proposal, but via just a few text messages and phone calls. Thanks, guys. But yeah, we are definitely going into a little bit of a different way of doing things right now. In fact, the industry in KL has just started again. We have inquiries from clients to do events, but with a very strict SOPs, with the social distancing, and then we have got to limit the number of guests. And then because in Malaysia we have a rule where a certain area of 1,000 square feet and above, you got to limit the head count to 250 packs, which
Right.
includes crew and models. So we are trying to circumvent that and see how we can organize physical events based on rules like that. So it's a bit
Right.
tough, but yeah, but I think it's still doable. So
But
we are
it's
using
actually a
virtual
yeah.
events to complement physical events. Yeah,
It's great that you are actually doing this because I believe that you're the first to be doing this on such an international scale as well. So well done, Adrian.
thank
Okay,
you.
I'm going to direct my question to the three designers next. Each of you have had amazing careers and you've got your followings and all that. How do you what were the problems with adapting what you've been doing to the virtual world? For example, the videos that you shot for us here at the front row, uh, and liaising with Adrian and brainstorming ideas, presenting the collections and telling the stories. Let's start with Brian. How did you put this together? How did you put your amazing show together?
Mm, just from phone calls, agent just called me because we worked previously with Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. Then from there, we kind of somehow clicked, and then he knows what I can do, and then I know what he can do for me as well. So it's just very fast. It's just few phone calls, few texts, and then I was like, oh yeah, actually I have a new collection coming up, and but it wasn't ready. Then I was like, why not? I just make it happen. In 2 weeks' time, we managed to finish the whole collection just for front row. And thank you for the opportunity for us to launch the collection. And yeah, that's just how it happened. And we didn't really plan a lot of things. It just happened like that. Yeah.
And this absolutely shows how much trust you all have in each other because without that trust, this understanding would not take place. And
Yeah, definitely.
I think, right? And I
Yeah.
do think that with a situation like that, you do want to work with trusted partners, people who think along the same wavelength and collaborate with like-minded people as well. So well done. Let's talk about Justin's journey.
Oh wow. It's not always easy, and I thought this year's gonna be the big break because I was planning the collection with Adrian for Mercedes-Benz. I was going to show again this year. He said, "Oh, it's going to be a huge show for you, more than 30 looks." So I was doing it halfway, and all of a sudden the COVID hit, and then the lockdown came, and everything just went into pause, including all my other clients and corporate work that I was doing. Everything just hit pause. So I think I was at a low at the point, but then again, I thought it's not the end of the world because everyone's in the same boat, right? So I put the collection on hold, literally on hold, because obviously I don't want to spend any additional expenses, whatnot. And then
Right.
you came about, and Adrian was talking to me one day. We were having lunch, and he said, "Oh, Daniel is doing this thing in Singapore, and he's looking for Malaysian designers to collaborate. Would you be, on board?" And immediately I say yes, because I knowing that both of you, had such caliber in bringing things to life. I've known Adrian for more than 10 years, haven't I? And I've known your caliber, Daniel, what you are capable of doing. So I said, why not? So this is half the collection, and I wish I had more time to finish up a bit more, but I'm happy with what we've got, and a platform to showcase. Which thank you for having us, and it means a lot. Something that brings us back to life. You see. Mm.
Well, I do think that in times like this, it's very, very important for us to all get together and support each other as a community.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
wonders of the digital world, it shows that even though we're all in different countries, we can all still do things together. And this is testament of that. So thank you for the faith in the front row. Okay, Kaven, and your drama show. Tell us about how you put that together.
Drama show. Okay. Yeah, because we contact with Adrian, say that I'm going to do different for my disc collection. So actually, I'm very excited to collaborate because it's the first collaboration with Adrian with Mercedes-Benz. So for me, I I tell discussion with Adrian, say that I want to do something different for my disc collection. So I come up
Right.
my new idea, but I'm very excited actually for this Mercedes-Benz show. But unfortunately, because of the COVID, so what I'm going to do, I'm just share with Adrian, say that how I'm going to do my publicity for my the latest collection, because I don't know when we were going to start because they keep postpone for our fashion show is coming. So I say this collection I cannot be delayed because of the trend will be always like very fast.
Yeah.
So I need to how to promote myself, and then on the same time Adrian give me the say that front row will be is the one of online. They will do the publicity and helping for designer to create their collection and a good publicity for us. So I said yes, why not? My collection. I need someone to promote our designer showcase, and on the same time, it's online. Is now is everyone must go through. So this is a
Mhm.
good opportunity for me.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you for your faith in us. Okay, as designers, we are, and also as show producers, we are so used to physical events and showing to a live audience. How important do you think moving ahead in the future, social media and the digital world will play in selling your collection and spreading your reach? Let's start with Kaven, because you can't talk about Kaven Ong without mentioning Crazy Rich Asians. I'm sorry to bring this up, but your name is synonymous with that. It's all over the internet, and how has that changed your life, and how do you think social media uh, is important now in the lives of designers?
Yeah, because social media for me, actually, I'm not so familiar. But now
Right.
I will try to call my staff, they are young generation, to do the social media, especially in Facebook, Instagram, and also the Google business. So this is a platform for me to create my latest collection to show people I'm still doing continue to our fashion. Let's say we'll do it for the celebrations and also the latest collections of our season collection, especially for couture, because couture for me is quite difficult to online to do the business. So, especially in client, I need to do the consultation directly, the personalized to my client. And also, yeah, social media for me, I'm just still learning. So I need, how to say that, people to help me to how to marketing and also do the publicity for me in social media. So I think online is very good platform to for my future business.
Fantastic. What about you? Just your thoughts.
Me?
Yes,
Sorry.
Justin.
Oh, I think social media is crucial. It's part of our lives right now. We spend so much time on the phone, and by Googling, we have an Instagram account. Everyone just, when you launch a collection, it's not so much about print anymore. I mean, I grew up in the 90s where when you go to a shop, they were still handing out pamphlets of the collection. It's always on print. But nowadays, it's QR codes that you just scan and then everything is online, all the information. So I think with that, it's really important for us to have either an online store or a website. It's not so much of a website right now because people want things to be fast. They want to buy something off you and they want it quick and they want it instant. So, I mean, I only realized it over the past maybe 2 or 3 years, but haven't got around to set up my online store. And only because the COVID came and it pushed me to kind of learn how to set up an online store, and I did, which I'm very proud of because I set up the website by myself with the help of a friend. And from there, people get access to the world of your store. It's not so much of a storefront anymore. It's virtual. They can inquire. They could also purchase. They basically it's everything. They can do it 12 midnight. They don't have to come to you at 10 to 7. Not like in the opening hours. They can always browse through, take their time, getting to know the brand. I think it's essential, and I think this is the future. And what Calvin said, it makes sense because when it comes to made to measure, which I think the three of us this is our strong suit, but in the future, I believe that with made to measure, if you have a service online that you could educate the customers or client, it is possible to take measurements and make something for them, because I've done that before. Even like a couple of years ago, I've got this client from Singapore and I've got another client in Hong Kong, because they cannot fly here. So I said, why don't we do a video call? I'll guide you on how to take measurements. You just need 2 person and a measuring tape, because we can see them. And now, look, we're on our phones and it's pretty clear. And yeah, we can still get measurements, get work done, ship it over, or maybe have one fitting. I think it's feasible. So that's the future, I think.
It's amazing that you've said that because some of the other designers that I've spoken with from different countries have been finding different ways of adapting their made to measure business online as well. So it's great. It's literally great minds think alike. So where there's a will, there's a way, and
There's a way. I was gonna say that, yeah.
exactly. And if you're a great designer and you know how to run your business well and you can adapt and pivot really, really well, as you have done, as all three of you have done, or four of you have done, you will find a way. And that's why you're still running your business and you're ahead of the curve. All right, Brian, Now you became famous in Singapore, okay, for designing an outfit for a certain beauty queen. How how um, how do you think that has helped you or hindered you with your brand?
Well, it helped me in a way. People got to know more about my name, my brand. But then, because my national costume was more known than my evening gowns at that time, but then it managed to get people to have the interest in knowing what I do, uh, to know what I did in the past and what made me design the costume for the beauty pageant. Then slowly and slowly from there, people started to engage me and to have the trust in me in doing in whatever I do, because I'm still very new in the industry. I started my brand in 2016, and this is my fourth year, and yet I'm still learning. And yeah, from there, like many things happened, and then slowly celebrities started noticing me, and then they contacted me to have me to dress them. So from there, it's slowly getting more and more people to know about what I do.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, that's really fantastic. Okay, Adrian, I have a question for you. You know, this entire thing about the digital world and doing online virtual fashion shows and all that, it's very new to everyone, including designers and show producers. How did you convince the designers that this is the way to go, and how did you plan the shows for them?
Well, convincing wasn't much of a task. I mean, the three of them, I've known them quite well. Justin, I've
And
known
because
for
they
years.
trust
Yeah,
you,
so it's just trust, and then but the idea for the show kind of came about um, when I was practically doing my business in the loo,
thanks for
and
sharing.
it's a perfect way to germinate ideas. Actually, for Justin's collection, for instance, we wanted to create a sort of like a haunted building kind of mood meets haunted building meets runway studio kind of feel, and that's why you have that dark alley where we shot that, and then with the contradiction of the studio, so and then with different angles, so you get to see the clothes very very well. And with Brian, I wanted to create okay, this may sound a bit controversial, but I wanted to create sort of like a snuff movie feel. You know what a snuff
Ah,
movie is, right? Yeah, it's all dark, it's very noir,
yeah,
and so it all started when I visited his new studio, which is just like 4 minutes walk away from my house. So when I saw the drapes and everything, and then I told our creative director Carl to just I kind of gave him just a brief idea. It has to look very noir, and he came out with it. So it didn't look like it was a boutique. I mean, with the angles that we used, and then we only used one light source as to light the dresses, and then it just came out dark and mysterious. Yeah,
yeah,
that was the whole idea.
I see. What about Kaven's
well,
concept?
with Carven, when we talked initially several months ago, he wanted to launch his fall winter collection very very differently. If you
Right.
see Carven's collection from past years, they're always very romantic, very soft, with lots of organza, pastel colors, very very pretty. So for this collection, Carven wanted to do something different with loud and bold colors. So we sort of had a discussion, and then we came up with this jungle theme. It's a little bit foresty, but yet with very strong bold colors. And if you see the video, you've got props of plants, and then you've got a gown that's shocking pink with a lot of feathers and things like that. So it came out quite nicely. I mean, there's a contradiction there with the two elements, but when you see the video, you don't think it's a Carbon On collection at all. And that's the whole idea. We wanted to create a bit of a shock there. I mean, if you've seen Crazy Rich Asians, you've known his gold jumpsuit with the sequins. That's
Yeah.
very him. And then the bridal gown, the waterproof bridal gown with that cascading silhouette. It's always very Carbon. But if you see the video of his fall winter collection, you don't think it's him. It's just
Yeah.
pushing the boundary of the design element and the brand as well.
And it's great that in a situation like that, with a lockdown and with all these obstacles being put in our way, you still see all four of you and designers in the region all trying to push their art and pushing boundaries, and I think that's absolutely amazing. What were some of the problems you faced and the challenges that you faced in putting these videos together, from talent to locations, and did you have problems with restrictions and guidelines and all?
Not exactly, but because in KL it was all entirely self-funded, so I guess scraping well we couldn't well because of the lockdown we couldn't get actual sponsors. So my first thing was to get a videographer. So I spoke to a few people. There was an event company who wanted to come in as a sponsor, but eventually they had some problems with equipment. So, and then I moved on to Booked, which is a talent agency run by an ex-model, Carl. And he's also a fantastic videographer. I've known him to do videos like for the past 10 years. So I spoke to Carl just about a week before the first shoot, and the moment he heard the idea, he was sold. He said, okay, I'll sponsor everything. So he did the whole production, the shoot, everything at no cost. And the editing was the crucial part. And he did it really, really well. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. And then with hair and makeup, we had limitations of finding artists who could sponsor. And so I approached Makeup Miracle, who's run by my friend Kenny, who's been in the industry for quite some time. And again, there wasn't a solid proposal, nothing on paper. It was just a phone call, and he said yes. So I'm very grateful in that fact that all my friends came out to help me when I needed the help. Yeah.
I think that's also great and testament of the the belief that they have in you, because they know that you're going to make the work look good. And so kudos to you. All right. Okay. We have some questions that people have sent in, and I've got questions for each of you. Okay. So I'll start with the hardest question first for you, Kaben. Okay. Someone wants to know, what was the experience like working on Crazy Rich Asians? How did you end up working on Crazy Rich Asians, and what was the experience like? Did you have a full say in creating the costumes, or did they tell you what to design? I want to know too.
Uh, okay, actually, I'm very lucky because the costume designer Mary, so
Mhm.
they're looking for a local designer to collaborate to do the costume for the Crazy Rich Asian, because they come to and call to my boutique, say that they want to see my collections and visit my boutique. So that time I'm not around because I said, oh, never mind. Maybe they are looking for someone to do a sponsor. So I just asked my staff to serve them, when they came to my boutique. So after that, they pick three outfit, and then they say, I need this three outfit for my this Crazy Rich Asian. So I said, oh,
Mhm.
okay, I can sell it for you. So one piece, every piece they need the contract as well because I don't know, the contract is so thick, and then say every piece I need the contract and sign with you. So I will give a price. They never do. They never say like, say how to say like, bargain or anything. They just
Right.
bought it. So after that, the next day they call me again and say, I choose you are the one, the designer, to design for the main outfit for this movie. So I said, oh yeah, why not? Because I also do for custom made special for wedding. So Mary come and visit me, and on the same time we have a discussion, say that what kind of a design to make this outfit more interesting and more glamorous, special
Right.
for the couple wedding. So I
Right.
noticed that some of the idea she like, and also I combine and sharing with her, say that why not we do something special for the wedding. It's called jumpsuit wedding, like the bridal gown. So no people
Yeah.
do that before. So I said, okay, we can try to do something like can imagination about the decorations, and they say they want to be like uh, the red carpet is like in the water, what you know, and the catwalk, and also the jungle around like forest. So I said,
Right.
okay, we must do something like the outfit, make it like look expensive. So
Mhm.
I designed the lace for the jumpsuit. On the same time, put so much of Swarovski and look like like a bling bling. And also I'm very lucky because the collaboration with her, I learned a lot of things. The experience, because they say like how the camera they're going to shoot, you know, and the lighting and the colors, and also about the actress, she going to present herself. So
Yeah.
this is a good opportunity for me to learn with her and sharing with her. So I never noticed that the Crazy Rich Asian is become like so famous. After that, after 1 year, the movie is come out. Then everyone will notice, oh, who is the designer to do the main outfit. So
Mhm.
it's good branding for me actually. Yeah, I'm very happy because this is uh, it's good sharing with uh, to learn a lot of things with the actress. You know, the actress Sonaya is she is very
Mm.
for me she is very character uh, character uh, actress, because when I dress up with her, and also she feel like, oh my god, this outfit it's like uh, very fit for her, because before they flight to Malaysia, they just send me the measurement. I never take any
Right.
measurement from them. They just send me the measurement. So I do the jumpsuit. When they do the first fitting, Mary said that I I'm very surprised. They say because uh, normally they need jumpsuit, they need fitting for 4 to 6 times. Then they will fit the body fit. For me, I'm
Yeah.
just do one, only one, only one fitting is perfect for her. So that's why I'm very happy because she love it, this outfit, when I do it for them.
That's testament to your skill, and congratulations once again on the success of that outfit. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank
Okay,
you, thank
the
you.
next question is for Justin, and they say that I love the fact that your show is inclusive, and we see many types of different women in your show, and it celebrates many different types of women. So their question is, when you do made to measure, do you do you have different things that you would design for different for the models and for different body shapes? And what happens if somebody wants something that is seen on a model, but it doesn't suit her body shape? How do you handle a client like that, and how do you design something specially for them when when someone doesn't have a mirror at home and doesn't know what their body shape looks like?
Well, that's a good question because okay, when I create a collection for the runway, it's always the vision of the collection, right? And obviously, there's always this idea of women, that is based on this collection. But my strength is when I do custom made, I look at the person. If they come to me with, say, let's say, look 23 from so and so collection now, if I feel that it doesn't fit the wearer, I would be really upfront and say, perhaps you might want to, think about an alternative design or color, or it could be fabrication. Because I think being a good designer, you need to understand body shapes, which I've spent years. Thanks to Carvin, he's my sifu. Without him, I wouldn't have my tailoring skills. For all that you don't know, I went to his academy and he taught me tailoring. And that is the most, it's my strongest weapon that I have right now. I still cut my outfit, every piece of the outfit up to today. So when it comes to designing for individual, and I kid you not, I'm over the past, guess, 6 years, 7 years, I have people from all walks of life. I have different body shapes. I have different age group. The youngest client was 15 and up to 65. So everyone has different body shape. And when I design for them, I usually spend 1 to 2 hours consulting them, you know, talking through the process, designing, because the client is the one who pays you, so you have to listen to them. And I listen to them a lot and to get to know them. If it's a new client, you probably spend more time getting to know them, or getting to know the event that they're attending, down to the colors of the carpet, down to the drapes that they use. You don't want them to camouflage into the background. You want them to stand out in a good way. So that's what I have in mind when I do all my designing for clients. That's different when you design for a runway because it's your vision that you share with the world. It's not so much of with a girl in mind, but obviously you have to think of the demographic that you cater to. Like for me, it's always that confident individual, that sort of femme fatale, the sexy vamp in any girls. Like for this collection, I chose two of my very close friends, and one's Malay and the one's Chinese, and then I've got Vanessa, who's Indian, and so happened that it's quite a muhiba uh, collection of people, which I find I've always liked to celebrate different um, ethnicity, different skin color, because I think that's just essential. You can't just design for one race, one demographic. It's just not me.
Yeah. Well, I think that the fact that clients trust you is again very important, because that trust between the designer and the customer is so important, and that's what makes
Absolutely.
you a great designer. Yeah, and this trust is
Mhm.
not developed overnight, right? Okay, the most difficult question is for Adrian. Chang, chang, chang. Adrian, you're very quiet. Okay, someone wants to know, you've done Mercedes-Benz KL Fashion Week. It's absolutely amazing. It's so big. What is next for you? Now that COVID's happening, we can't do events. Are you going to be creating huge Mercedes-Benz KL Fashion Week online shows, or are we going to be collaborating? All right. So what's next for you, Adrian?
Okay, from Mercedes' point of view, I can't comment yet. There are plans afoot. But in terms of events per se, we are getting event calls. I mean, we are getting calls for events for the next 2 months. Let's see. But from a personal point of view, I've during the lockdown anyway, I've become a bit more inclusive. I've learned to calm down, work on myself, spiritually and physically. Um, Many people do not know this. I'm actually a trained Reiki healer and a massage therapist.
Right.
Yeah, something I learned about 25 years ago, I think. So I'm learning to use that skill again, and I'm actually helping a few people in using energy healing and things like that. And as of a week ago, I've just been appointed to spearhead a fundraising project for a government hospital to raise funds for underprivileged kids with cancer. So I'm going to be quite busy looking into that as well. Something that I've always wanted to do, philanthropy. Well, previously I never had the time, but I think it. I do have the time now, so I'm focusing on that as well.
Well, congratulations, Adrian. All right. Before we end this really, really interesting chat, gosh, we could go on and on and on forever, and it
Yeah.
makes me want to fly to KL and have tea with all of you. But okay, before we end, let's do something fun together, shall we? We've got a little segment called Fast Fashion. I'm gonna ask you some really, really rapid fire questions, and um, tell me the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? Okay, each of you. Let's start with Adrian, and then we go down to Brian, Justin, and Kavan. All right. Who's your favorite designer?
Yoji Yamamoto.
Next, Brian.
Oh, Thierry Mugler.
Favorite designer?
Tom
Okay.
Ford.
Uh,
Tom Ford.
Justin. Tom
Tom
Ford.
Ford. Tom
Okay.
Ford. Always Tom Ford.
Kavan, who's your favorite
Calvin?
designer?
Valentino.
Valentino. Okay, who is your favorite model? Adrian, you have a lot of favorite models. I know. Who's your
Yeah,
favorite
a
model?
lot.
I'm Junita Simon.
Janita Simon. Oh God, Janita, I hope you're listening in.
For me, I would
Brian,
say
who's your
Sora Chong, a Korean model.
okay? Right. Justin?
I like. I wonder if you remember Jaquetta Wheeler.
Jaquetta
She was
Wheeler.
the
Yeah.
yeah, she was the face of
I
Gucci at one
also
point.
remember that. I
Oh,
remember
really?
her.
Yeah, she was one of the most. I mean, my favorite, in my opinion,
Yeah.
up to
Fantastic.
today
Yeah.
actually.
And Kavan, who's your favorite model?
Yeah, my favorite model is Mommy Campbell. I love
Naomi
her.
Campbell. Yes. She's a lot of people's favorite models as well. Okay. Describe your personal style in one word. Adrian?
Japanese meets Shinaswari.
Okay, that's all hyphenated, right?
In
Okay,
one word
Brian?
or
Yeah.
in one
Brian,
word, I would say
describe
subtle.
your. I thought, Adrian, your personal style was flamboyant.
This is
Okay,
post quarantine.
was quarantine. Okay. Brian, what's your favorite style?
For me, I'm very subtle, and then I tend to wear a lot of oversized now.
Okay. Justin?
Minimal sophistication, I self-claim.
Is that. Okay, and Kaven?
It's very feminine, classic, and comfortable.
Fantastic. Okay, one final quick question. Someone is making a film about you. Pick an
Ooh.
actor to play you. Who is your ideal actor, living or dead, that you want to play you in a film about your life? Adrian?
Even McGregor.
Even Reagan?
Ooh.
Okay. Brian?
Wow. When you watch movies though, can it be myself? Because I do want to be an actor one day.
Wonderful. That's a great answer. Okay.
He,
And you can dress yourself
for
too,
your
right?
information, Brian has the looks and the height for modeling and acting too, you know.
Next show, next show. So you know what? You can model, you can design a menswear collection, model it, shoot it, and market it yourself, and act in a film about your own life, right?
Yeah, they're great.
Justin.
For me, easy, get my twin. If I'm not around
Oh,
anymore,
okay.
just get my twin to play with me.
Hmm. It's a
But we have
that's
very
good.
different personalities, so he probably wouldn't be able to. But he'll try.
And Karen, who is gonna play you in a movie about your life?
Yeah, my idol, Fei Wong.
Fei Wong. Wow. Okay, I would watch that movie. All right. Before we end, I'm just gonna ask each of you one final question. What is the legacy you want to leave? How do you want people to remember you? Anyone wants to go first? Okay, let's
Tough
start with
question
the.
though.
Yeah, I mean, how do you want people to remember Adrian, Brian, Justin, or Kaven? Um, let's start with Kaven. Do you want people to remember you as a crazy rich Asian?
Yeah, beside the Crazy Rich Asian and also the latest, the Miss Universe, Sweta wearing my outfits for Banana Cut at Dalsum and designed for the national costume. I think because of the news come out mistaken about the winner. So I think a lot of people noticed that. Yeah, everyone call me and media call me and ask me to explain what's going on, all these things. Yeah, I think Crazy Rich Asian is one everyone noticed, and also because of Miss Universe for Sweta wearing my outfit for the national costume.
Fantastic. Justin, how would you like to be remembered?
I think I want to be remembered as the designer who understands a women's body and that someone who cuts well for women. Like a great, I wouldn't want to call tailor because, to be a good designer, you need to be a good tailor first. It all starts from the fundamentals of, garment construction. So I want to be remembered by that.
Great. Brian, how would you like to be remembered?
Well, if I'm lucky enough, I would love to have Rihanna to wear one of my dresses in the future and have that
Oh,
dress collected by any museums and displayed it there.
fantastic. And our maestro who put all this together, Adrian, how would you like to be remembered?
Okay, I don't know if this is a bit far-fetched. I'd like to be remembered as the Fern Malice of Asia, promoting Asian designers to the West.
Fantastic. And that is a wonderful thing to aspire towards. And you're halfway there. You know, you are one of the great cheerleaders of Malaysian and Asian designers. So thank you very, very much to the four for being my guest today. It's been a very
Thank
insightful
you.
chat. Thank you, listeners, for listening in. This has been Solidarity with our Malaysian designers. Do join us again tomorrow and on Thursday when we have Filipino designers showing, as well as Australian and Thai designers. I'm Daniel Boy. Thank you for joining us here at the front row.